Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the deepest/massive YouTube iceberg, Tier 3, the Historian tier. This is the third and final part of this tier of the iceberg. So, without any further ado, let's get into the layer. Nope.avi. This is a meme originating from the TF2 community, in which engineer walks on screen, his helmet pops off of his head and starts floating in the air. He says nope, and his neck stretches out to put his head under his helmet. And the audio from this has become the video in general has become a meme, but the audio from it has transcended the original video and has become commonly used in just multiple different YouTube videos. Nope.avi. This is a meme originating from the TF2 community, in which engineer walks on screen, his helmet pops off of his head and starts floating in the air. He says nope, and his neck stretches out to put his head under his helmet. And the audio from this has become the video in general has become a meme, but the audio from it has transcended the original video and has become commonly used in just multiple different YouTube videos. Race, IST Mario. I had to, had to do that to get the YouTube bots away from me. Gotta make sure that YouTube will actually recommend this video to someone. But so this is an animation which was originally created on Newgrounds and then uploaded to YouTube, and it's another early YouTube viral video. With this one being, the age-old joke that you see on Robot Chicken. Haha, here's a kid-friendly character from a kid-friendly series. But they did something edgy. Like they did something edgy, like they do a violence. And they do the thing in the title. And it's funny because you wouldn't expect them to do that in their original series. But yeah, it's just an animation pretty much of Mario racing people and Mario Kart, and Mario racing other Mario characters in Mario Kart, and then going on a violent rampage in which he unalives all of them. The actual title of the video is more so a joke of Mario being a racer rather than him actually being what the title implies, though he is also what the title implies, but not really to the extent that the video's title would imply. If you get what I'm saying. Basically, Mario being what the title implies is not the main focus of the video, and is just he just says like the N word a few times for shock value, and that's the extent of that. Another interesting thing about this video is that the thumbnail used to contain Peach and Daisy not wearing any clothes, but then YouTube threatened to demonetize the video, so the thumbnail was edited to have them wearing a full body garment. And the video ends with Kratos coming in and being the only one who survives Mario's rampage and actually unalives Mario. Jakety Ghoust. So there's this YouTuber who goes by the name Justin Tissimbitis, and this is his current channel name, but he used to own a different channel called Tissim Fucks. It's less than 4 minutes into the video. I'm pretty sure to want to be safe, want to be on YouTube's good side. I don't know if swearing in the first 4 minutes affects recommended. I know it affects monetization, but I want to be careful. So yes, Tissim. He started making videos when he was a child. And he has a disease called progeria, which is also known as Hutchinson-Gilford syndrome. And this disease is one that causes people to rapidly age. And this results in the people who have this disease being the same size as a child, but having a face that's sort of like a combination of a young and old face. And this is something that I really don't want to sound like offensive or like rude here, but this is unfortunately something that humans naturally find a lot of humans naturally find uncanny, especially children. And he made a video where he hid under a table and then popped up in front of a camera and screamed in it, and then someone else edited this together into a crappy YouTube poop called Jakety Ghoust, where they apply some just really basic level editing of rotating the video, changing the color, and making his screams go in reverse and then forwards again. And while these edits may not be much by today's standards, This video ended up going viral, and a bunch of children who probably didn't even understand he had a disease, saw this, and to them, they just saw something uncanny that they didn't understand with flashing colors and weird audio, and got scared by it. If I'm not mistaken, Tissim deleted his previous channel and now goes by the new channel Justin Tissimbitis, and on this channel he mostly posts like Funko Pop unboxings, but he's kind of just like a variety channel that just does a bunch of stuff, and yeah, he's still making videos after all these years, so that's cool. Ronald McDonald Insanity / UN Owen Was Her. Okay, so before I even get started with this entry, I should make it known that a lot of the sources I was looking at refer to this video as the McRoll instead of Ronald McDonald Insanity. That's what I'll be referring to it as. I guess it just changed names. But anyway, so in the 6th game in the Touhou Project series, the game Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil, there's a bonus stage in which you fight against this secret boss called Flandre Scarlet, who's like this vampire that lives in the basement of the mansion. And she has a really good boss theme called UN Owen Was Her. Now you may be wondering, why in the hell did anyone ever decide that UN Owen Was Her was a good name for a boss theme? And apparently the reason for this, and I am not 100% sure about this, but I think the reason is because Flandre Scarlet unalives people in the same way that a character who goes by the pseudonym UN Owen does in an Agatha Christie book. And UN Owen is a pseudonym for unknown in that book because it's an unalived mystery. And because of that, I guess it's saying that like Flandre, the Was Her is saying Flandre is UN Owen because like they have the same unalivement methods. It's so confusing. Why did you name it that? This is a terrible name. I hate it. But so this song was really good, and it was put in a ton of remixes. And one of these remixes was a YG PMV that took clips from a Ronald McDonald Japanese advertisement campaign where he would go like do da do as this sort of like I think he called it like the Happy Meal dance or something. And basically, a meme started going around where people were using these da da doos and YTPMVs to recreate music, and someone edited that in a video called the McRoll to make a to make a more chaotic version of UN Owen Was Her. And this meme, in addition to boosting the Ronald McDonald slash McRoll's memes popularity also greatly boosted Touhou's popularity in the West, and was like one of like the big driving factors that was responsible for getting Touhou popular in the West. And the Touhou fandom now kind of regards the song in sort of the same way that Megalovania is regarded, where it's most well known for being a haha funny meme and everyone laughs at it and finds it funny, but it's also like an actually really good song that like an unironically good song that people will listen to in its own right. Game Theory's Sans' Ness theory. Okay, so I'm sure you know who game theory is, and I'm not going to introduce them. But this Sans' Ness theory was one created shortly after the release of Undertale, and it quickly became regarded as one of the worst, if not the worst, game theory. And it's regarded as that for good reason. In the theory, MatPat tries to claim that Sans from the game Undertale is actually Ness from the game Earthbound. More specifically, the version of Ness from Toby Fox's Earthbound Halloween hack, Toby Fox being the creator of both Undertale and the Halloween hack. Even though Toby Fox disowned the Halloween hack because of its usage of slurs. Some of his more solid evidence basically just amounts to the fact that Undertale is heavily inspired by Earthbound, and as such has references. And yeah, pretty much all the evidence stops there. The rest of the evidence is just completely grasping at straws. Some of it includes, in the Halloween hack, there is a smiling flower sprite, which was clearly the prototype for Flowey, even though the sprite was in the original Earthbound, not just the Halloween hack. And, it's just a smiling flower. Does this take place in the same universe as Plants vs. Zombies and Pokemon now? Um, and then some other evidence. The final boss theme in the Earthbound Halloween hack is a version of Megalovania that then got remixed to make Megalovania. And Papyrus has a Starman logo on his chest, which is probably just a reference, but according to MatPat, this is a solid indication that Papyrus is a Starman. And then of course you got the fact that Papyrus makes a pose, which is the kind of similar to the Starman's pose, but he claims it's an exact match. And then you got the even better evidence that Papyrus, Sans claims to have not seen he claimed, yeah, Papyrus doesn't know what the sun is at the end of the game, but Sans does, even though other monsters mention things like stars and other stuff from the surface world. So it's not, and Papyrus is just a stupid character, so it makes sense that he wouldn't know, but Sans would. And then there's also the fact that MatPat claims that they take place in the same universe because in Earthbound there is a mountain and a desert and a city. And in Earthbound, in Undertale, at the end of the game, you can also see a mountain and a desert and a city in the distance, and they both have a beach in them that look vaguely similar with the same color scheme. And Sans has a badge in his workshop. And the only logical conclusion from that is that it must be the Franklin badge from Earthbound. And then he also claims that the reason Ness became a skeleton is because of the phase distorter and how it can't transport organic matter. Even though bones are organic, Pat, bones are organic. Did you forget what bones are made out of? Also, where does it say that the phase distorter turns you into a skeleton and only messes you up? It kind of implies it unalives you. But yeah, this theory was just clowned on so much to the point where now MatPat himself makes fun of it as a running joke. It's become a meme in both the Undertale and Earthbound communities. This is probably just me reading too much into things, but when Sans was revealed as a costume Mii fighter, Mii gunner for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the reveal trailer showed him on the Magicant stage, which is from Earthbound. That's probably me reading too much into things, but it is really funny regardless. And part of the reason that this theory was were received badly was also because of the fact that MatPat's fans would just his child fans would just take his word for it, because most of the Undertale fan base was children at the time, and so they would just take his word for it and go, just pretty much just ignore any valid criticism of the theory because but MatPat said it. And to make the whole situation even funnier and worse, MatPat, shortly after this theory came out, was invited to come meet the Pope with a bunch of other YouTubers, and they each gave him a gift, of which MatPat's was a signed copy. No, signed copy. Why do you say that? Was a copy of Undertale. Yeah, he gave the Pope Undertale, and people again made fun of him for this even more, to the point where MatPat had tried to avoid talking about Undertale because of that. And then, just the cherry on top of all of this, very recently, like last year, maybe it was 2 years ago, I don't know. But the Pope had some circus performed for him, and they played a remix of Megalovania in the background, just to add the cherry on top of everything. Jon Drinks Water. This is a YouTube channel which is self-described as the internet's premier water drinking series. As you could guess from the title and description, every single video on this channel is just the titular John drinking a glass or bottle of water for a few seconds, with each video being numbered from 1 to, as of this video's creation, 10,016. He doesn't even do it daily. It's just he just uploads pretty sporadically. With the last two uploads being about a month apart from each other, and then the uploads before that being 3 months apart. What's inside? Yeah, this one's also pretty self-explanatory. It's a YouTube channel of a father and son that have been making videos for around a decade now, where they just take various objects and then they saw them in half and look at what's inside of them. And that's pretty much it. TOONS, also known as Zonetown, is a Newgrounds animator who creates adult parodies. And when I say adult, I mean adult and not adult. And she creates adult parodies of kids shows, usually with a very like accurate art style that's very similar to the original art style, just more graphic, obviously. And one of these parodies was a parody of the show My Life as a Teenage Robot, and it was titled What in the Robot, but it's more commonly known by the phrase, "You wouldn't like my body, it's all circuitry and metallic," which was a line taken from an episode of the show, just they replaced brain in the original line with body. And this clips from this video were taken and used in a bunch of bait and switch memes. And also, I can't not mention this, but the game Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, that game that everyone freaked out about for like 2 weeks and then just faded into obscurity. Yeah, that game they added Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot to the game, and one of the lines she says is, "You wouldn't like my brain; it's all circuitry and metallic," which I know that probably that there's a chance that could just be a coincidence that they happened to choose the one specific line that was used in the parody. But come on, whoever was designing that had to have known. And yeah, they literally removed the line after finding out about the full source of the original. Ghost car. This is a video which displays an overhead view of a car driving through a beautiful green, lush landscape with peaceful music playing in the background. Eventually, the car drives behind a tree and becomes unobservable by the camera. Just as you'd expect the car to drive out from behind the tree, a zombie pops up directly in front of the camera and screams at max volume. This is then followed by a black screen with white text that says, "Now change your shorts and get back to work." This video is known as being like this is the most popular jump scare on the entire internet, with it often being used by people who'd be like, a ghost is going to appear near the car. You got to watch it, especially after it goes behind the tree. Watch it very carefully. And then, they get jump scared. As it turns out, the original video was actually a commercial, not made by the uploader. And it featured, at the end of the advertisement, instead of the black text that was in the upload, it had a advertisement for Keffi coffee, which is a caffeinated German coffee beverage. And these advertisements, this advertisement was actually one of many different advertisements in a campaign run by Keffi, where they would where they would try to basically just show peaceful imagery with something happening in it, and right as you expect the thing that's happening to finish happening, like two people kissing or whatever, either a zombie or a demon would pop up and jump scare you. These advertisements were very unpopular because, as you could imagine, people did not like being jump scared without any warning, and so Keffi pulled the ads down after only a year. But after they saw the popularity of the advertisements online, they created a light Keffi drink and created new versions of the advertisements where instead of being jump scared, a guy would just pop up and go, "Boo." Talking Kitty Cat. This was a YouTube series of a man who would, he'd like film his cat and then he'd dub over a conversation of him and the cat whenever the cat was, meowing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, rest in peace to the cat from the series. DK Rap. Where are they now? There's this YouTube channel called Brento Floss, which they basically take songs from video game OSTs and add lyrics to them, generally comedic ones. And for one of their videos, they made a remixed version of the DK rap where they now sings about what happened to the DK crew after the events of the game and does it in a sort of dark comedy way. And so, like, they're all terrible people. Donkey Kong is now a gun enthusiast who hunts endangered animals. Tiny Kong is unaliving all the bees for no reason. Lanky Kong is a sex ed clown. Diddy Kong is a 4chan or incel. And then there's Chunky. He's dead. And that's the most well-known part of the video, and for good reason. It's easily the funniest part of the video, the way they just say that, and then the music just completely cuts off for a few seconds before it comes back on. Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life animations. Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life is a copypasta, or rather a series of copypastas originating from 4chan. They all involve Shrek doing something sexual to a young child. People on YouTube have created animations for these, albeit significantly less graphic than the actual copypastas, and have usually done so using SFM. Bride falls in pool. This one's self-explanatory. Another early viral video of a guy who was filming like some wedding, and the wedding was taking place in their backyard, and they had a pool in the backyard, and the bride slipped and fell into the pool. Too Many Cooks, Adult Swim. This is a 10-minute surrealist short created by on Adult Swim, and it was uploaded to YouTube. It's starts off as the theme song for a family sitcom about the Cook family called Too Many Cooks, and it introduces each of the characters with a freeze frame and some yellow text. But as the video goes on, it eventually just starts introducing more and more characters. And then it gets turned into a corporate sitcom all of a sudden. And then it switches to like an animated G.I. Joe style show. And then it switches into a detective cop show. And throughout all of this, there's this one like creepy stalker looking character who keeps like appearing in the background, but he gradually becomes more and more known in his presence as the video progresses. And eventually the theme song cuts off entirely as he starts going on this like rampage and unaliving all the characters of the show, but their names still appear in front of them. More and more creepy moments start happening, like the show will randomly, the theme song will randomly just stop and like turn into just like a loop of like a character like spinning around, and it just gradually becomes more and more distorted as the stalker unalives more and more of the characters, eventually starting to replace them in the show entirely. And it also becomes a lot gorier as well. Eventually, there's like this scene where there's like a doctor that's trying to cure this guy who has one of the yellow names over him, and saying that he has like this sitcom disease. And then that man starts like slowly like smiling like a sitcom character as a name appears in front of him. And then it cuts back to the show, and now it's like it's a sci-fi show where all the main characters are fighting off against the stalker. And then it cuts from that back to the family sitcom where this one cat, like plushy cat character who appeared a few other times in the video, hits a red button before being unalived. And then the theme song finally ends with all of the characters, all like the hundreds of characters that were introduced, just being plastered on this, all in front of like a Brady Bunch style screen where they each have like a little box on it. And then finally, the episode begins right as the video ends and only airs for about 1 second, as the theme song was too long. And people have interpreted this video as being like a metaphor for corporations trying to screw with artistic integrity. And like the stalker represents the represents the corporation, and he's like continually making changes to the work, inserting himself into it more and more, and keeps changing it into something that it was not originally supposed to be, adding more and more characters, doing the same things over and over. And eventually they just have to completely reset the thing at the end. And also, keep in mind that this aired on Adult Swim, meaning it aired in the middle of the night, and whoever was watching it was definitely sleep deprived and probably high as well. So, probably drunk also. So just just imagine seeing this while all those things are happening. Another fun fact about this video is that YouTube added an Easter egg where normally all YouTube video titles have the same font, but here they changed it to be the font and color of the names that appear in front of the people in the theme song of the video. Kugi no Hako, which translates to box of nails, though this video is also referred to as Ponies sliding into a box gone wrong. So there was this like small meme that was going around in like early YouTube where basically people would animate characters being slid into a open cardboard box. And an animator, whose channel's name is Two Snacks, and they also have a second channel called Too Many Snacks, created a version of this where it's with My Little Pony, where instead of sliding into an open cardboard box, they slide into closed boxes and pull out the contents of it, or I guess slide through the contents of it. And it starts normally with Princess Cadence being slid through a box of marshmallows, and then Princess Luna being slid through a box of candies. Then it ends with Princess Celestia getting slid through a box of nails, as the name would imply, and then some jelly, drips out from the box. She says, "Oh shit," and then the video ends. And though it isn't anything particularly gory at all, for children that were looking at My Little Pony content without parental supervision, probably a lot more traumatizing. Me at the Zoo hacked description. With Me at the Zoo being the first video on YouTube, its description has become something that a lot of people want to hack for various reasons. One person placed a Rickroll in it. Another person, you basically previously the actual Javid had said, "Hey, if this, I'm working on Me at the Zoo Part 2," and so someone hacked it and said, "Hey, if this gets like 10 million subscribers, if we hit 10 million subscribers, I'll make Me at the Zoo Part 2." Another person hacked it and attached a GoFundMe saying, "Hey, if this gets $10 million, I'll make Me at the Zoo Part 2." Thankfully, the description has been restored, and as of now, it reads like I'm currently working on Part 2, and then has a link to some random YouTube channel that makes that makes covers of Donkey Kong songs and presumably other songs as well, which Java just apparently likes. Chad Warden. Chad Warden was one of the first troll YouTubers. His first video, and one of only two, was called "Why the PS3 is Better Than the Xbox 360 and Wii." And he doesn't actually give any reason. He just kind of rambles a bunch of nonsensical insults at the other two consoles and doesn't really explain why. In addition to this, he also puts on like a persona, which is like a very a stereotypical African American, and he even goes as far as to use the N word despite being white. And this video enraged people when it initially came out. But shortly after the video came out, he made another video where he basically he stays in character, and he basically just jokes and says more nonsensical stuff. And this video, it was pretty much the confirmation to all the people who thought he was a troll that he was a troll. And yeah, after those two videos, he hadn't really made anything. He didn't really make anything after that. Um, and he even deleted his channel because he got basically his real name got revealed, and he didn't want anyone to know that or associate him with his old persona. And so he deleted his channel and all the videos on it, all two of them. His videos also became heavily entwined in YouTube poop culture. Bart unalives Barney. This is a short 11-second animation that was, really popular when it was initially created, and again, it's only 11 seconds, so I'll play it now.
What do you want?
I love you. You love.
This is horrible.
Scatman, Skibabop-da-bop. This is a music video created by Scatman Jon, and it's a music video which is, it's like different from other music videos because he scats, which is like where he makes non-word vocal noises, and he uses those in the music video. And it's become like kind of a meme. Charlie Bit My Finger sold as an NFT. Okay, so yeah, I already talked about this in the first part of this tier when I talked about Charlie Bit My Finger, because I forgot that it being an NFT was an entry later down on the same tier. And pretty self-explanatory. Because the NFT bros view nothing as sacred. They wanted to buy the NFT from the family that made Charlie Bit My Finger and like sell it as an NFT, make it an NFT and sell it as an NFT, and the family agreed because they got like a shit ton of money from it. And now the video is deleted or unlisted as a result. I'm not sure which. This iceberg claims is unlisted, but like I think it might have been deleted. I don't know. I don't know how this NFT stuff works, and I don't really care. Here it goes again. This is a song created by the alternative rock band OK Go, which is less well known for their music and more so for the insane stunts they pull off in their music videos. Whether that be setting up a ginormous Rube Goldberg machine, choreographing hundreds of people so that it looks like they're creating these formations from a bird's eye view, or flying in an airplane that goes so high in the atmosphere that gravity becomes lower and then they, fly around in it. But they had to start somewhere small, and this was that small place. Granted, the small feat was them doing this really impressive choreographed dance on treadmills, but it, still small compared to the other feats they've performed. SammyClassicSonicFan. This is a YouTuber who started making videos when he was a child, and his videos were basically his attempt at recreating the sort of angry reviewer personality that like Angry Video Game Nerd and Nostalgia Critic had, and several other YouTubers around that time, and with a specific focus on gaming and specifically Sonic gaming, as his name would imply. But he managed to pull off his role extremely convincingly, at least according to him, and his videos, like the screaming combined with the low mic quality, combined with just how much he freaks out, just makes him it makes them extremely entertaining. especially as towards the end of the videos where he just completely loses it, and just starts throwing like his plushies around and things like that. He was talked about by a lot of large YouTubers, including PewDiePie, but the main one who's known for covering him is Chad Tronic, who made like 6 videos on him, and he eventually Sammy eventually remade like started uploading to his channel again, and with now like actual like professionally produced videos, and he actually like talked to Chad Tronic to sort of like advertise for that channel. Cute Things Exploding. Here, just take a wild guess as to what this channel has. It has videos of cute animals that explode. And I don't mean like a Michael Bay explosion, like they're just really like, very like poorly edited explosions. Like I mean, I guess for the time, these were obviously made quite a while ago, but like for the time they were probably impressive, but nowadays it just looks it looks kind of bad. But what is weird about this channel is that almost all the videos were made 11 or 12 years ago, and then they just completely stopped uploading. But then randomly, 10 months ago, they uploaded a new video, Baby Bunny exploding, and then re-uploaded an old video, Nyan Cat exploding. So not sure what's up with that. Free tag on videos. So, this one should probably be a little lower on the iceberg because it's a relatively obscure, unsolved mystery. When I looked it up, all I can find was a few Reddit posts and one Timeworks video, and that video did not answer it because even he doesn't know. So, what this refers to is that is on old videos, particularly PewDiePie videos and particularly PewDiePie's YouTube Premium videos, some after like the view count and how many years ago it was uploaded in the description, you can find this bubble that has the word free in it. And this is a really rare phenomenon. Few people are talking about it, and some of the videos that have been actually reported to have this tag on it no longer have it. And so no one really knows why, but the best explanation is that it's probably a glitch that in some way relates to YouTube Premium. Because obviously you have to pay to access a bunch of the YouTube premium shows, but they'll usually let one or two of the episodes onto YouTube as a sort of like as like a sample of the rest of the series. And so the theory is that those videos had to be tagged as free to get them out of the catalog of premium videos. However, this doesn't explain why this appears on videos that are not YouTube Premium. Like for example, can we get this video to 1 million dislikes? And Minecraft Multiplayer Fun, both of which are non-premium videos by PewDiePie, had or have had like, have or have had the tag. The best explanation is that maybe YouTube like accidentally made them premium, or maybe the premium like screwed up something else on his channel. I don't know. No one really knows the answer to this. If you have any information, like feel free to tell me in the comments because I just don't know. FGTeeV / Funnelvision / FV Family. Okay, so FGTeeV is like this gaming channel, which is like made by a family, and all the members of the family, including the children, will make videos on it, and sometimes they'll make videos with each other. And then Funnelvision was their sister vlogging channel, but due to, according to Wikitubia, a quote-unquote incident with YouTube, which caused their comments to be turned off. Very descriptive, thank you. They ended up deleting that channel and replacing it with a new vlog channel, FV Family. Why this channel and its sister channels are on the iceberg kind of escapes me. Apparently people really hate them. Like there's a ton of rant videos on them, even though like yeah, they're shitty kids content creators, but they're no shittier than most kids content creators. And they're definitely not like anywhere close to the bottom of the barrel. I mean, their thumbnails are stupid. Even as a kid, I hated those damn thumbnails. The stupid big heads on them. But other than that, I don't get why people hate these or why this is on the iceberg. I mean, okay, they do like the normal YouTube Kids channel thing of like they'll pull pranks on their kids and stuff, and people like say that that's like unethical, and you could I can see the complaint people are making, but A, these kids are rich because of these videos, and B, the things they make these kids do is like they make them it's definitely definitely say it's a little weird, but like it's not on the same level as these Elsagate channels that will just like force their children to work. And the worst thing they did was they had this one video which caused a controversy where basically the dad said that he like basically pretended that one of his kids was blinded by the sun's light, and a bunch of the dumb kids that watched him that thought it was fake. I mean, a bunch of dumb kids that thought them didn't realize it was fake and got concerned about him, and so he had to make an apology video because a bunch of the older fans, so the 12-year-olds, got like called him out for it. Old Windows Movie Maker videos. Windows Movie Maker was a program that allowed people to easily, create videos. And though it wasn't like the best program, and it was not the best program, definitely not the highest quality, but it was it was really easy to use, especially compared to other things during the time. And so a lot of kids would use it to make videos. And yeah, a lot of videos were created using this in the early days of YouTube. WTF Boom. This was an old YouTube meme, which was commonly used in general and especially in YouTube poops. And the meme it's basically where this guy shouts, "What the fuck?" But right after he says the f and fuck, the rest of the word gets cut off by an explosion sound effect. And people, yeah, they would use this, they would just edit explosions into various things with this sound being used for the explosion and before it. Crush on Obama. So there was this YouTube channel called Barely Political, which was like an early YouTube sketch channel, and one of the videos they created was like about this uh, obsessive fangirl of Obama singing about how she had a crush on him, and and even if it wasn't really that political in nature, it was one of like the first instances of like some form of political humor appearing on YouTube, at least in on mainstream YouTube videos. And it also had obviously not like a major impact, but it did have a positive impact on Obama's campaign. Animation versus Animator series. This is a series created by the animator Alan Becker, and it's basically of this guy who creates like a stick figure that has like superpowers, and the stick figure begins fighting him. And basically from there it turns into like these action scenes that utilize various aspects of the computer and the programs within it. So like for example, the animator will try and draw things to fight against the stick figure with. The stick figure will try to like will try to like rip certain parts out of the program and use them as weapons, stuff like that. It's a lot more exciting than how I'm describing it right now. And as the series continues, they start using more and more programs. Like they start going out into the desktop. They start using Minecraft and Newgrounds, stuff like that. There's one video where like they fight against a YouTube video that continually changes his videos to fight them. It's really impressive and just a great series. Honestly, you should watch it. Video games in real life videos. Okay, so this could be like referring to any number of things. So I think the main one that's probably referring to is a series of videos by Smosh where they would like recreate like things from a video game in real life, as you can imagine. And yeah, it's basically just like your classic old school YouTube humor of, what if we applied video game logic to real life? Wouldn't make that much sense, huh? Though this could also be referring to like those shitty kids channel clickbait things that where they'll try and like which will be click title with some sort of clickbait like video games in real life. This was like most prevalent around 2019 where there were a bunch of like Minecraft in real life videos for some reason. Yeah, I think it's probably referring to the Smosh thing, but I had to cover them both here just in case. Minecraft with Inspector Gadget slash Mike Matei. Mike Matei was a man who worked with James Rolfe in the creation of Angry Video Game Nerd. However, he also tried to create some sketches of his own. One of these sketches being Minecraft with Inspector Gadget, a sketch that was pretty much panned by all the fans as being unfunny for the stilted line delivery as Inspector Gadget, the nonsensicalness of the sketch, like Inspector Gadget going on this like 1 minute long rant about Minecraft and building brown bricks in it, and and then immediately asking what you do in Minecraft after that, and just the unfunniness of the jokes. However, all of these things would combine together. Well, okay, so first I gotta say he deleted the video, but all the things that made the video unfunny would years later cause people to view the video as a sort of ironic masterpiece and cause the video to resurface. And now Mike Matei has sort of owned up to the fact that he made the video again. Now that everyone likes it, ironically. Greatest freak out ever. There's this YouTube channel called Waffle Pun, which creates a bunch of different videos to tell Gray's freak out ever, where they're supposedly filming people having, freakouts, but they're all just acted and scripted. And one of these videos, which was like one of the first ones on the channel, went super viral because of a moment of it where this kid shoves a remote up his butt, and then only for like a second though. But yeah, there's pretty much nothing else to it. Privatization of unlisted videos before 2017. So I'm going to explain what the difference is between privatized and unlisted videos really quickly. Unlisted videos are videos that cannot be seen in recommended videos on YouTube channels, at least if it's not the channel trailer, and the homepage, and instead have to be accessed through either a direct link, the in screen of another video, the card of another video, or through a public playlist, or a private playlist that you have access to. Private videos can only be accessed by the video's original creator and people that have gotten like explicit permission by the video's creator. YouTube, for some reason, in the middle of 2021, decided to roll out a feature in which they would make all unlisted videos that were created and uploaded prior to 2017 privatized, and YouTube creators could not change them for some reason after that. I do not know why they did this. Machinima. Machinima was this company that basically would like hire YouTube gaming channels to work for it, and they'd hire like hundreds of these channels, and it became like one of the most subscribed, basically the most subscribed gaming channel on YouTube. However, it was super predatory with its contracts, and basically would get people to work for it for like decades, and it would even make contracts to like get people to work for it for infinity. Obviously, these contracts were like considered moot by the law, and they were like, no, you can't just do that. So a lot of those people left, and eventually so many people left Machinima that the channel just kind of shut down. And so what happened was in 2016 Warner Brothers purchased Machinima. However, they then did nothing with it until 2019 when they privatized every video on the channel. And yeah, they haven't done anything with it since then. Disturbing Vocaloid songs. So Vocaloids are like these anime characters that music artists can synthesize voices through and use to create songs from there. And as this entry's name implies, a lot of music artists created Vocaloid songs about disturbing subject matters, which greatly range in what the subject matter was about. And a lot of kids who were in like the Vocaloid fandom got like disturbed by these things. I remember hearing about this on like what was it, the childhood trauma iceberg. So that is the plan alt-right controversy. That is the plan was Anthony Fantano's now deleted sister channel, where he would talk about memes and review them as opposed to talking about music and reviewing it. This useless journalist company called The Fadar basically created an article where they attempted to slander him by calling him alt-right. And some of the great evidence they used were things like he makes fun of the fan bases of like black music artists, but less than he makes fun of the fan bases of white music artists. And he showed an image of a guy a guy committing neck rope in a video, except it wasn't neck rope, it was neck toilet paper, and it was a meme. And he made a video where he talked about Trump, except the actual video was him making fun of Trump and saying that he should hire cartoon villains for his cabinet. And he invited like these other like alt-right people onto his podcasts, except he invited them before they ever said or did anything alt-right. And like in one of the podcasts, this one guy talks about doing some really terrible things to women, and Anthony Fantano just sits back and laughs, except what actually happens is Anthony Fantano tries to stop him and also is nervously laughing. But yeah, everyone basically just took these accusations, like they just made fun of them because they're it was basically just made up slander. And Anthony Fantano had to make a video defending himself. And I also should probably say, like I said earlier, that is the plan is now deleted, but that was for personal reasons and not related to this whole alt-right controversy. And from one alt-right controversy to another, JonTron alt-right controversy. So, JonTron, around 2016 to 2017, started espousing his political opinions, and he started basically saying a bunch of anti-immigration BS, and he got into a debate with Destiny about this, and during this debate, he said that black people commit more crimes than white people, which became a sort of meme soundbite that people used, because it was, just so jarring to hear someone as beloved as JonTron say that. Now, this statistic obviously comes from the fact that black people are more heavily are more heavily punished by the judicial system than white people, and not from black people actually committing more crimes. But that was not the way JonTron read this as. And after this interview, he said that he regretted saying this. He regretted saying that, and regretted even talking about these political stuff in the first place, and said that he should have been more informed. It is debatable as to whether he's actually changed as a person and his political opinions have changed, or whether he just felt like it was better publicity to say that he no longer believed those things. Personally, I'm on the side of I'm on the side of he did actually change, because he said these things in like 2016, 2017, which was when the whole anti SJWs were all over YouTube, and it was a lot more right wing than it was currently. And he actually, if you look at like some of the political stuff he said before then, not really after then, because he's thankfully chosen to stay out of politics after that whole controversy. But before his controversy, he was actually pretty left wing, voting for both Obama and Bernie Sanders. Creepypasta reading channels. Yeah, this one's pretty self-explanatory. You know what creepypastas are. I mean, I've mentioned them multiple times in this tier, and yeah, there are YouTube channels that are dedicated to simply reading creepypastas, so that people don't have to read them for themselves. I mean, that's kind of what I do with my background, is reading series on this channel, and there's also SCP readings as well. Newgrounds Animations. Okay, why is this far down on the iceberg? Several of the entries we've had, like Coit and Salad Fingers, could fall under this category of Newgrounds Animations. Why is this so far down? I don't get it. I mean, we're only on tier 3, but all things like relatively, it's still pretty low. But like, this should have been on like the second, maybe even the first tier. Like, come on. But yeah, Newgrounds animations that were originally made on Newgrounds and then later re-uploaded to YouTube, obviously. Ultimate Dog Tease. This is another early viral video, which is similar to Talking Kitty Cat in the sense that it's a guy talking to his dog and dubbing over his dog's barks with audio. And the conversation is like basically about him talking to the dog about going to get meat, and basically trying to make it sound like he's going to give the dog the food, but ends up eating it instead. Remmy Sit, Speak. This one's a really short video, another talking animal related one, and because of how short it is, I'm just going to play it right here in its entirety.
Remmy, sit. Speak. Fuck! Good boy.
Nizoch. I want to start this entry off by talking about the Minecraft entry from the previous episode. So as it turns out, I was wrong. Minecraft is not the first video of Minecraft gameplay to be uploaded on YouTube. I was the first person to upload Minecraft gameplay on YouTube that wasn't Notch, and also the oldest remaining Minecraft footage on YouTube. Because the first footage on YouTube was actually, the first Minecraft footage on YouTube was actually uploaded by Notch himself under a different channel called Nizoch. And yeah, this video, he had about 30 videos on them, and they were all about basically just documentation of Minecraft in various stages of development, to the point where some are so old that the game is still called Cave Game. And most of these are like Minecraft obviously in like a beta state before it was fully developed, and sort of give some insight into like what it was going to be like originally. And only the last couple videos are like actual trailers for the game once it had came out. Eventually, Notch privatized all the videos on the channel. Fake future gen console videos. For whatever reason, in the early 2010s, there were a bunch of people that like made videos trying to predict what future generation video game consoles would look like. And their predictions, for some reason, they always, I think they were intended to be jokes, because like these consoles, they looked very funny. Most notably the Xbox 720, which looks like this spherical game console for some reason. And all of the videos that have uploaded these do it in that classic old YouTube style of just a shitty PowerPoint slideshow presentation with like text poorly pasted on top of it. And they all have like this like rock music in the back, just like screaming rock music in the background. And like the most popular of these videos has Let the Bodies Hit the Floor in the background, and it just makes it so much funnier. Javed Karim's deleted videos. Okay, so Javed, we all know him. He's the guy that made, he made Me at the Zoo. He's one of YouTube's creators. But he actually made more videos than just Me at the Zoo. However, they've all been deleted, but some of them, I'm not sure how many of them, have been archived. Here's like a list of some of his archived videos. As you can see here, a lot of these videos they're travel related. Like there's this airplane one, taking off train video, Hawaii. But that isn't all. There's also this like lecture of him talking at this other him talking at some lecture place. There's Yoda after grooming, which is just him petting his dog. Meeting Matt from where the hell is Matt.com, which self-explanatory. It's he's like some Matt from where the hell is Matt.com is like some Instagram guy. Exploration of an abandoned building, computer generated animation of water, video feedback one. Sorry, what was this one again? I remember I looked at all these before this. I forgot like a few days ago where so yeah, literally just yeah, so it's just him recording seeing if YouTube works, I guess. And then I think this one is Jod listing to Numa Numa, and I think he puts his thumb up at the end, and then more plain stuff. So yeah, those are his deleted videos. So these last 3 entries on this tier of the iceberg are all Adpocalypse related, with the first of these being Toy Freaks and the second Adpocalypse. So Toy Freaks is another ElsaGate channel, one that makes shitty fetishy content and tries to market it towards kids. But what separates what separates Toy Freaks from other ElsaGate channels is that these normal ElsaGate channels just make their content, upload it online, and then get kids to watch their shitty fetishy content that way. Toy Freaks also does this, but he also directly gets kids to be in his content. But by that I mean the creator of the channel gets his own kids to be in these fetishy videos. So this led to a bunch of people calling the Toy Freaks a child abuse channel, and as such, YouTube responded by deleting it. Now, this was in 2017 when ElsaGate became known to the mainstream media. So advertisers started pulling out their ads. YouTube started cracking down more on ElsaGate content, and this was kind of the catalyst for all that, and it became known as the second apocalypse. And this also led to YouTube introducing a new feature where you could no longer get your videos monetized unless you have at least 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 hours of watch time a year. Matt's What It Is and the third Adpocalypse. Matt's What It Is was a YouTuber who had not uploaded a single video onto the platform until 2019 when he just randomly, out of nowhere, uploaded a video called YouTube Wake Up. And in this video, he exposes what he claims to be a soft-core bad things with children ring. And to do this, he basically searches some sexy search terms in YouTube's bar, finds videos of adults doing sexy things, and then uses the recommended tab to go through a sort of go through a sequence of videos that ends up at children doing said things. And also points out bad people interacting in the comment sections and posting timestamps in the comment sections of these videos. Now, this on its own will be good, but what was not good was what he wanted to do about it. He did not advocate for YouTube to enforce any sort of policy to prevent these videos, and actively ignored YouTube's efforts to block the videos and the videos that had comments turned off on them. Instead, he decided that because advertisements play on these videos, all advertisers need to take their money out of it. He also claimed that YouTube was actively supporting these rings, which is obviously really stupid and not true because they're monitoring them. They just can't monitor every single individual video uploaded to the platform all at once. But regardless, he did not advocate for any enforced policies because he thought that YouTube was some evil villain, and so he advocated for companies to get rid of their advertisements, which would obviously do nothing because they're not supporting these videos. Companies can't control what videos their ads play in front of. They just play in front of any random video as long as you watch it. So the idea that these advertisers are somehow supporting the content is ridiculous. And in advocating for this, he ended up kind of starting the third adpocalypse because prior to uploading the video, he created a Reddit post on r/videos that promoted his video, and he created a live stream after the video that basically sent people to the Reddit post to upvote it. And this is against the rules of r/videos, but he uploaded the video late enough at night that most of the mods were asleep, and it gave him enough time to get a massive karma boost on his post, and therefore a massive view boost on his video. And as such, his video went viral, and this led to a massive advertiser boycott, which resulted in a bunch of YouTubers losing money. including YouTubers who had actually talked about the problems that he talked about, but actually talked about reasonable ways of addressing it. Then in his live streams, he would act like he was some amazing hero, and these YouTubers were all being selfish for wanting to have a living and be able to pay for food. And it was during these live streams that everyone began to realize he didn't really care as much about saving kids as much as he cared about destroying YouTube, pretty much. As every time an advertiser every time an advertiser removed their advertisements from YouTube, he reacted with enthusiasm. But whenever YouTube tried to stated they were going to enforce a policy to monitor the videos better, he reacted negatively. In addition to this, he was also a massive corporate suck-off, which was, or as he said, he praised Nestle and Disney, both companies who use heavy child labor in the production of their products, for, pulling their advertisements out of the evil platform of YouTube. Once it was discovered what his true intentions were, people began theorizing about what the motives behind his actions were, and there arose three theories. The first of these was that people managed to find out that he actually had a YouTube channel prior to the one he uploaded the YouTube Wake Up video on, with his prior channel being dedicated to comedy sketches, and it had gone dead after a few years. And so their theory was that he was effectively spiteful for not being able to become a successful YouTuber and was thus trying to ruin other YouTubers' careers as a sort of like form of vengeance. The second theory was that if you look at his Reddit history as well as the sketches, he constantly gets really mad about like extremist pipelines and like alt-right content on YouTube. And he also makes fun of a lot of like things like the manosphere in his sketches and like self-help and stuff like that. Well, like bad self-help and stuff like that. And so the theory here is that he wanted to destroy YouTube as a means of sort of cleansing it of this content, even though this decision just ended up screwing over, creators in minorities far more than it hurt these extremists. And the last theory was that he was quite literally a corporate shill who was paid by corporations to make this video, as it came out shortly before the week in which businesses negotiate and like figure out their advertising budget for the year. And, a massive ad boycott would give advertisers a reason to sort of have leverage over YouTube and be able to negotiate cheaper ad prices. And that would also explain the insane popularity of the video in the first couple days after it was created, and the sheer number of news articles that wrote about it. My personal belief is a combination of the he was mad about extremists and the corporate shill theory. I don't think he himself was a corporate shill. I think he did it purely to like destroy extremists. But that being said, I do think corporations probably propped the video up and like paid news corporations to like report on it, at least to some extent, as at least they were, as I'm saying, corporations were at least somewhat responsible for its popularity, so that they had a means of leveraging cheaper prices over YouTube, even if they were not directly responsible for the video itself. But that's just my theory. And for the final entry of the third tier of this iceberg, we have Vox Adpocalypse / Fourth Adpocalypse. So this one's a bit more controversial than other adpocalypses, but a few months after the third adpocalypse, the talk show host Steven Crowder made homophobic and racist jokes at the expense of the reporter Carlos Manza, who worked for the company Vox. And this led to the reporter and Vox as a whole reaching out to YouTube and asking YouTube to strengthen their anti-harassment and anti-you-know-what speech policies. And about a month later, YouTube complied and started strictening its policies, which led to multiple conservative channels getting demonetized and deleted, which led to these conservative channels claiming that YouTube was being anti-conservative. And because this was really shortly after YouTube had recovered from an adpocalypse, they started also claiming that this was an adpocalypse, even though it had nothing to do with ads and was not. It was only targeted towards people that were saying racist and homophobic things, but whatever. And then, around 6 months later, after this whole situation, and sort of as like as a result of it, YouTube created an even stricter anti-harassment and anti-bullying policy. And this policy, while it did have some good effects, it was also, a little too strict because, well, not too strict. It's just YouTube's an idiot that can't tell the difference between criticism and harassment. So Levy was kept fully up and running on the platform, but iDubbbz's videos criticizing him got end deleted because, of course. Okay, that's the ending of Tier 3, finally. So now we're done with all like the tiers that are like the basic tiers. We're finally get to move on to like the actual creepy tiers next time, starting with part 4, the enthusiast tier. I'm excited. So bye.